After more than 3 years, a controversial United States immigration policy has expired. First introduced in 2020 by the Trump administration, the policy known as Title 42 allowed U.S. authorities to swiftly return migrants and asylum seekers from the country's border with Mexico, circumventing standard immigration law on public health grounds. The U.S. government said the emergency powers were needed to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And prevention has decided to exercise its authority under the Title 42 of the U.S. Code to give Customs and Border Protection the tools it needs to prevent the transmission of the virus.
By May-June the same year, the American Civil Liberties Union was among the number of groups to launch legal action against the policy, arguing that Title 42 was just a pretext to keep immigrants out of the U.S. The policy continued for a time under the Biden administration, and its end comes with the end of other COVID emergency rules, and the government is returning to a decades-old section of the U.S. Code known as Title 8. And more importantly, the administration is also rolling out new strict policy measures. Well, Title 42 allowed the U.S. to quickly turn away migrants and asylum seekers attempting to cross the border. But it carried no legal consequences when someone crossed the border illegally and was seen by some to encourage repeat crossings. Well, the new rules removed the right to assessment for asylum for those who arrive at the U.S.-Mexico border without first applying online or seeking protection in a country they passed through. So if people are caught crossing the border illegally, they could be barred from re-entering the U.S. for 5 years or even face criminal prosecution.
People who cross our border unlawfully and without a legal basis to remain will be promptly processed and removed.
But there are some who still think the policy change could make it easier for migrants and asylum seekers to enter the U.S. In El Paso, Mexico, tens of thousands of people reported to be waiting for Customs and Border Patrol to process their cases. 3 cities have declared a state of emergency. U.S. officials also say they're bracing for a large number of attempted border crossings as the rules change.
We're doing all we can. It's going to be chaotic for a while.
Well, it remains to be seen how the U.S. government will respond to a possible surge in the number of people attempting to cross the country's southern border as a result of the policy shift. But what is certain is that with the controversial Title 42 lifted, the humanitarian crisis at the border is far from over.